G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_Gaming for another Dokkan Battle video. So for today's video we're going to be going through the details of both the new anniversary LRs that have just been announced today, as well as some statistics for them as well. So first off, as you can see here, we've got the breakdown for Gogeta. There's his card arts right there, absolutely fire. As you can see, leader skill starting off the bat, he's the Carnival LR, so he does get the flat 200% leader skill, and that is to movie heroes. A category that was really on top, sort of fallen away a little bit. I guess we haven't got too many upgrades for it, but still a really good category. So a pretty good 200% leader skill there. For his 12 key super attack, remember he does start off with Super Saiyan as well. So he greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, causes colossal damage. We've got defense there, so that's awesome. On his 18 key stacks defense, which is very good for that longer content, and then greatly raises attack for one turn, causes mega colossal. So straight off hit the bat, you can see two very good super attack effects there. For his passive, you got 2 key, 154% attack and defense. Then attacks effective against all types. So straight off the bat there, you can see that you don't really want to go with crits on this guy. Yeah, additionals definitely going to be a pretty heavy dosage in the hint potential. You then gain an additional 100% attack and defense when performing a super. You got guard activated for 3 turns from the first appearance, so we've got the 3 turns of guard, which is really handy. You get the extra key +1 when collecting key spheres, to sort of like the old Int Super Saiyan Gohan there, and then you get the 2 key, the extra 2 key when getting a rainbow key sphere. So that's really good. Sort of running him along rainbow all changes, like the physical part to power Goku, the Spirit Bomb absorb Goku could be really handy. But he is an rainbow orb changer himself, so anything other than physical. Performs an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super, and performs an additional attack that is a super when collecting one or more rainbow key spheres. So rainbow key spheres are going to be very prominent in this guy's kit. You want to make sure you're getting them, and he can potentially do 4 supers. So you're going to get that 1 initial stack, and then potentially 3 1-turn raises for if you manage to get the hidden potential one there. So definitely a really good passive in there. He's then got the transformation, which is able to be used after 4 or more turns from his first appearance. So if he's on turn 1, obviously you've got 5, then 2, 6, etc. So yeah, for his links, he's got Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, Over in a Flash, Prepare for Battle, Fuse Fighter, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, so very common link set. Over in a Flash definitely making a comeback with units like the UI Goku Easy A. You got the Tech Super Saiyan 3 Goku Easy A as well. And then for categories, we got Movie Heroes, Fusion, Super Saiyans, which in Super Saiyan Trio, definitely going to be a fun one there. Final Trump card, Powerful Comeback, Time Limit, Fuse Fighters, Realm of Gods, Transformation Boost, and Power Beyond Super Saiyans. So when you go into blue, the 12 key super stays the same at a greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn. And then you've got the 18 key, which now massively raises attack for 4 turns. So that's sort of going to work like the Int Super Saiyan Trio, where you're going to be building that up, and then you can pump out massive damage on the active, which we'll talk about after. So for his passive, you get a 54% heal at the start of, or the first 2 turns from his appearance. So assuming you're keeping him on rotation. So that's going to be insanely busted. You get the key +3, attack and defense 200% at the start of turn. We keep that effective, so again, additional is going to be very useful. Gain an additional attack and defense +100% when performing a super attack. Then gains 2 key when collecting key spheres. So, yeah, just like we've had with the other anniversary LRs of late. Changes a random key, the same with the rainbow key spheres. And then perform an additional super attack and another additional super attack when collecting 1 or more rainbow key spheres. So again, we can still do 4 supers. And then you've got a great chance, or 70% chance, to evade enemy supers, and chance to perform a crit plus 20% per attack evaded. So it seems like that doesn't have a time cap on it, so you will be able to just dodge the 5 and then have guaranteed crit by the sounds of it. But that, yeah, That's just from the translations. Shout out to Gresha, obviously, for the translations. And then great chance, or 70%, to nullify key base super and counter with tremendous power. And it doesn't end there, because we're also able to use an active which will temporarily raise attack for one turn, cause ultimate damage, but then redirects all attacks to this character, so which he fully dodges. So it's essentially a Ghost Usher, but just sort of a new way of working it. Super OP. That's going to be so good. Can't wait to utilize that one in game. So that's Gogeta. Looks to be insane. The 70% dodge is definitely going to be one that a lot of people are looking forward to. So then after that, we do have Broly here. Again, card art looks absolutely sick. For his details here, he's the Dokkan Fest, so we do have a fair bit going on in his leader skill. He does introduce the Super Bosses category, and then you got Transformation Boost and Full Power, 3 key 170. You also get the 30% to Exploding Rage and Movie Bosses. So not a bad leading skill. The Transformation Boost is definitely going to help buffer up how much or how many units are in this list. So for his super attack, he stacks attack and then raises defense for one turn on 12 key. For his 18 key, it's greatly raise attack and then greatly raise defense for 4 turns. So again, a unit that is getting defense for multiple turns, always really handy. But that greatly stacking attack is going to build up really quickly, I feel like here. So he does have an entrance animation, gains 5 key and 100% attack and defense, and performs an additional super attack for 4 turns from appearance. So you're going to be pumping out tons of supers there, because he gets a 150% attack and defense at the start of turn, has guaranteed guard, which is awesome for the whole fight. That's unconditional. Then gains key +1 for the key spheres, the same as Gogeta. An additional 50% attack when performing a super attack, and an additional 50% defense when that is an ultra super attack. So obviously you want to be getting his 18 key for that greatly raised defense anyways. Gain an additional 2 key and perform an additional super attack as the first or second attacker. Gain an additional 6 key and perform an additional super attack, and a high chance to perform another additional super attack as the third attacker in the turn. So more than likely you're going to be wanting to run this guy on rotation anyway, so I'm not sure how often you'll utilize that there. But yeah, being able to perform 3 supers straight off the bat in slot 1 or 2, that could actually be 4 supers, sorry. So you get the 1 4-turn raise, and then the extra 3 30% buffs. That could be really, really handy. So again, he's got a transformation. Unfortunately, his is a little bit worse, so it's able to be used 5 or more turns after the first appearance. So that sort of hurts there, because the stages aren't lasting all too long, and this guy can do 6 billion supers. But anyways, it is what it is, you know. So that's going to definitely be fire though. So you transfer into full power and activate a domain. So for that you get, for 4 turns, extreme class allies get key +4. So from there, extreme class, well, that's the, I guess, the ability, we'll say. Domain effect is extreme class allies attack and defense +10%, and if they're on exploding rage or movie bosses, they get an additional 10%. Super class allies and enemies take an additional 10% damage. So for our links, we've got Prodigy, Super Saiyan, Berserker, Shocking Speed, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. So obviously disappointing that they didn't just chuck on big bad bosses for him. It would have been so helpful, but it is what it is, I guess. Unfortunately, we couldn't get there. But for categories, we've got quite a few here. We've got Super Bosses, which is his, Transformation Boost, Full Power, Exploding Rage, Movie Bosses, Pure Saiyans, Super Saiyans, Miraculous Awakening, Gifted Warriors, and Power Beyond Super Saiyan. I will say the one thing with big bad bosses not being here, you sort of are incentivized a bit that you can use this guy on superclass teams. So definitely not the end of the world if you're not using the sort of transformation into full power. Obviously, if you're going to full power, you don't want to be using him with those super units. So for his 12 key, once he does transform, you get the raise attack and defense for 1 turn, and causes colossal damage to all enemies. So an AoE, I'm not sure how useful that would be, considering you'd have to wait till turn 7 to get this guy out. But anyways, whatever. So for the 18 key, we greatly raise attack and defense and cause Mega Colossal for the 1-turn buff. And then for the passive, we've got Intensifying Fighting Instinct. So it's a key 6 plus 300% at the start of turn. Slot 1 King. Guard activated against all attacks. Again, really helpful for slot 1. Gain 1 key in addition when collecting key spheres, so the exact same as beforehand. Reduces damage by 20%, 6% until attacking while his domain is active. So yeah, for that 4 turns that we did speak about, gain an additional 50% attack when attacking, 50% defense when receiving an attack, perform an additional super, gain a jeez, he's got a lot going on here. Gain a 26% chance to perform a crit when performing a super attack, perform an additional super attack and gain an additional chance to perform a crit by 26% when that super is an ultra super, so the 18 key, and then perform an additional super attack when key is 24. So he's going to be able to do a ton of damage, he's going to have a ton of defense, and speaking of that, we're going to get into both of these units' defensive calcs. So firstly, I wanted to, where is it? That one, I've got all these. There, that should be there. What's this? Okay, so this is Halvard. If you're on Twitter, check him out. He does all these sort of defensive calcs. Definitely does an amazing job. So very much worthwhile checking out his stats. So straight off the bat, we're going to be jumping into the Gogeta stats here. So as you can see here, he sort of lists. I think that's actually the second one. That is. There we go. So that's better. We've now got it in order. So he does list the conditions and what the stats would be with those conditions. So you can see straight off the bat here, without support, look at that. You can get up to 1.2 million defense from this guy if you get lucky with the 18 key triple additional turn. What might be likely, I guess, is you get that 18 key with 1 or 2 additionals, but you're still sitting at almost 800k, a million defense. So that's going to be really, really good. You add in some 40% support, maybe even Bulma on the other turn, where you could be really putting up some crazy numbers. But you can see the increase there. We're bumping up to 900k with 1 additional super, or 1.17 and then 1.4. So the Gogeta, even in base, is going to be able to put up some really, really solid numbers there, as you can see. That's not even to mention the offensive numbers. So that's links active using, as I click into this one, Fused Fighter, Over in a Flash, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. So from those links, you would get 37% attack, defense plus 10%, key plus 7, and then the 15% attack when performing super. And that is next to the LR, STR, Gogeta Easy A. So definitely pretty fire there. Actually, I think I've botched that wrong because I should have been doing it like this. Sorry, so that was with, yeah, no, that's right actually. These links with Easy A, Gogeta. So from there, we then go on to the blue Gogeta. So you can see here, without support, started turn defense, it's the 259. Get one 12 key super, and you're at 780k. Like, that's pretty crazy. If you get the 18 key with 3 additional supers, which is sort of that max turn there, you're up to 1.55 million. Which is obviously a massive number. You're pumping out huge damage. So that is with support. That's pretty. So max possible defense 2.1 million. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of defense that this guy is looking at there. So we're going to jump across to Broly now, just for a quick look. So starting off with Broly, with his intro, without support or intro, you can see straight off the bat that he caps out at 766. With intro, you cap out at 1 million. So pretty significant boost there. 300k is quite a lot, obviously. So then with 1 super attack stack, you can see that max defense does jump up to 1.3 million pretty much. even if you're getting it the unluckiest and you're just getting one 12 key super, like you're at 800k. That's without support. And then with 40% support, you can cap out at 1.44. If you get two supers, you're at 1.3 pretty much. One additional super, 1.4. You're definitely going to be able to put up some really big numbers there. So, and then we jump over. Whoops, I didn't click there. So, just for the sake of it, that was with just Super Saiyan, Shocking Speed, Prepare for Battle, and Fierce Battle. For those links, you get the 40% attack, 10% defense, 4 key, and that's with Physical God Goku, who is a pure Saiyan's lead. So, obviously, you may end up running those two together. And then, whoops, not clicking on that. We've got the final one here is when you do get the transformation. So without support, you cap out at 920k, but after receiving an attack, you can see the significant difference here. You're maxing out at 1.38 million. If you get 118 key, that's 766,000. Remember, he's got guard here as well. If you get 1.26, and that's without support. You add in 40% support here, and you cap it out at 1.517 million. So with guard, that is going to be absolutely insane. The animations look really good. The card art looks really good. Honestly, can't wait to for them to eventually drop on global, but I will be on JP for the meantime, summoning for those guys. So let me know your thoughts on all the new units down below. They look to be really, really good. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.